Noon. Temperatures will be cool with highs in the upper 40s. Rain's likely overnight tonight. We could have a few wet snowflakes mixing in at times. Low temperatures will get down into the middle 30s. And then Friday becoming mostly sunny and staying cool with highs in the low to mid 50s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big O Country Studios, it's
10:07 and the temperature is 39 degrees.
At the Drugstore Health Mart Pharmacy in Lincoln and Annandale, they treat their customers as if they were family. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies with a personal commitment to the communities they serve. The Drugstore Health Mart Pharmacy honors prescription plans including Medicare, and Health Mart pharmacists are trusted healthcare resources, knowing that nothing is more important than your family's well-being. Visit your nearest Drugstore Health Mart Pharmacy, 626 Center Drive, Town and Country Shopping Center, Lincoln, and at 9576 Highway 10 in Vale.
We're community-minded. We believe in what we do. We love this town. We live in just like you.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community-minded, just like you.
If you live inside the city limits of Kings Mountain, we've got good news for you. Griffin Drug Center offers free Kings Mountain citywide delivery. All senior citizens get a 10% senior citizen discount. Griffin Drug Center has been serving the Kings Mountain and Cleveland County area since 1919. Enjoy the soda fountain, snacks, and food, and they keep computerized medical records. Griffin Drug Center, 129 West Mountain Street, Kings Mountain, since 1919.
Good morning on this Thursday, March 3rd, 2016. This is Milton Baker along with Lincoln County Commissioner Carrol Mitchem today for a special Thursday edition of the Community Profile. And we'd like to say today's program is a paid political program paid for by the citizens to elect Carrol Mitchem for County Commissioner. So, Carrol, good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning to you, Milton, and good morning Lincoln County, Gaston County, and Cleveland counties.
That's right. That's right. We're covering the three counties with our radio stations and beyond, plus on the internet. And if anyone would like to tune in to our website, ktcbroadcasting.com, go to the live studio camera. We got the camera turned on today, and you can see Mr. Mitchem and me as well. You might not want to look at me, but you can.
It may be the same way for me too, Milton.
Well,
they might look and then they might want to turn the camera off. You know?
That's right. Carol's here to talk about some issues and some things related to the upcoming election. Early voting starts today and so forth. Before we get into the meat of the subject, if you would like to talk to Carrol, here is your opportunity. Right, Carrol?
That's true. Anybody wants to call in, ask a question, or discuss anything, I'll be more than glad to.
He'll take your calls. That's right. He's willing to take your calls, and you can ask him, anything. Just remember, you are live on the radio. And the Lincoln County number is 704-735-8071. But if anybody else wants to dial the other numbers, you can get through as well on those lines, 435-2844 or 482-1390. But if anybody would like to ask a question or just make a comment to Commissioner Mitchem here, 704-735-8071. That's the Lincoln County number. Again, 704-735-8071. We'd be more than happy to take your calls. You don't have to give your name or any information about yourself unless you want to, but just call us up and and ask Carol a question or make a comment. So early voting begins today, correct?
It does, Milton, and I guess that's all the counties. I don't know if it's Cleveland County, Gaston County, or what the other counties do, but it is in Lincoln County.
It does start today in Lincoln
March,
County?
March the 3rd. And it's an opportunity for people to be able to go out and vote at their convenience. That you don't have to wait till March the 15th to do that on what is the regular primary election day.
Yep, Tuesday, March 15th.
One other thing I'd like to mention as far as the dates of the election, too, is that the North Carolina General Assembly changed the primary election to March the 15th. It used to be normally in May. So I don't know if there's a lot of people really understands that or know that has changed to March the 15th instead of having it in May.
Yeah.
So then that pushed the early voting back too. That began today, March the 3rd, and there's 3 locations in Lincoln County that you can go and early vote. One is at Lincoln, downtown Lincoln, at the James Warren Citizen Center Auditorium. The other one is East Lincoln Community Center on Optimus Club Road, Denver. And then at West Lincoln is Northbrook Community Center on Highway 274 right beside the Northbrook water tank.
Right.
So you can go there and as today and cast your votes. And on today, it's like the hours on all of them is from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. So it gives opportunity to people gets off at 5 o'clock that they still have the 6:30 to vote. And that's through Saturday. And Saturday it goes to 5 p.m. Then back on March the 7th, back from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. And that runs all the way through March the 10th and March the 11th. Then on March the 12th, it's Saturday, you'll be able to vote from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at all 3 locations. And then on the Saturday, March the 5th, it goes on Saturday also to 5 p.m. So it gives a broad, many days, broad spectrum of time there that people does have the opportunity to go vote early. And one other thing we'll say as far as voting early, if anyone wants to register and vote, they can go, if they're not registered, to these early voting sites, and you can register and vote at the same time.
Okay.
And one other thing is, too, that if you have to be 18 years old to vote, but if you're not 18 now, but will be 18 by November the 8th, which is the general election, you can go ahead and register now and vote, and you can be able to vote in the fall election.
Okay.
And I don't think maybe a lot of younger people knows that, but it does give them opportunity to, you may not be 18 now, but if you're 18 by November the 8th, you will be qualified and you can register to vote.
As long as you get registered before that time.
Yeah.
All right.
And as long as you're 18 years old by then.
Yeah.
One other thing I'll mention too, as far as the voting, we've got any information that you'd like to know as far as voting, we got the Lincoln County Board of Elections office. I'll give you that telephone number, 736-8480. You can call those people, the Board of Elections. We have an excellent Board of Elections. Brad Putnam is the director. We have Rebecca Buff, Valerie Wilcox, Jeffrey Davis, Linda Chambers. And I guarantee you, if you call them, they'll be more than glad to answer any question you have or steer you in the right direction. So call those people up if that's what you want to do, and you can go to the Lincoln County website. On the Board of Elections website, you can print off a sample ballot. And it's all laid out there for everyone that's wanting to go vote and make a difference in your voice to be heard.
All right. Absolutely. Got a call. Let's see. Caller, you wanting to talk to Commissioner Mitchem?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you do? All right. Go right ahead.
I just want to say, and over the years, I think he's done an excellent, good job. I read in the paper, and I hear on the radios, and I'm pleased with everything I hear.
All right.
I'm not his campaign manager, but I'm just saying, a vote for Carrol is a vote for you.
Well, D, I appreciate that, and I've tried to, over the years, which at the end of this term will be at 12 years, I've served the people of Lincoln County. I've tried to speak for the people, and I appreciate you saying that, and I've always been accessible to people, will continue to do that, and listen to the people of Lincoln County and try to serve them the way I would want to be served. Thank you, LD.
And that's one more thing. I can honestly say, I grew up 27 and I found me some good food too, boy.
And where was that at?
Up 27.
And what was the name of the place?
I think it's called it Mitchem's.
Oh, Mitchem's Kitchen. Yeah, I've ate there too before.
I mean, I'll eat fish, I'll eat barbecue, hamburger steak. Hey, man.
Right. Well, we appreciate that, LD.
It's like M&M candy. You can't try this one.
Yeah. Okay.
See you,
Thank
man.
you, LD. Appreciate it.
All right, LD calling in. Anybody else would like to call in? You have a question or a comment about anything you'd like to discuss with one of your commissioners in Lincoln County? Commissioner Carrol Mitchem is here with us live in the studio today, and we're taking these calls. Carrol, we're taking these calls right off the cuff. No screening. No, we don't know what you're going to ask.
I don't know who it's going to be or what they're going to be asked or what's going to be said.
We'd just like to remind you are live on the radio. And hello there. Would you like to talk to Commissioner Mitchem?
Yes, I'd like to ask him about the 1 cent sales tax.
The 1 cent sales tax. All right.
The 1 cent sales tax as to what?
That was in the paper yesterday. I didn't read it. I just read the headline. The commission on a 1 cent sales tax increase.
What that was we had a meeting last week talking about water lines, the sewer, landfill, and that type of thing. And one of the commissioners that's on the Board of Commissioners, that was not me, come up with the idea of maybe charging, it wasn't a sales tax, but it's a 1 cent increase into your property tax. That money be set aside for water lines extensions in the county. But it wasn't a sales tax. It's a 1 cent tax that be applied to your property values. But it's only been in discussion. It's nothing that's concrete. We are now beginning budget works, and it was this discussion. It was talked about, but it's nothing that's been etched in stone yet.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the call. And I think we may have someone else here, Carol, that wants to speak to you. Did you want to talk to Carrol Mitchem?
Yeah, I just had one question. I was just wondering why they're going to tear the old hospital down and then build another hospital or another building in its place. And I'll be listening on the radio.
All right, thanks, sir. All right.
That is something that we, over the last several years, have dealt with. We've tried to figure out what we want to do. The court system is pushing us to have more room in the courthouse. We have expanded the government to a certain point that where we have to do the health department has to go somewhere. That building's in terrible conditions. But with a part of the hospital will only be torn down. It will not be the newer part that I think was built in the late 90s, 97, 96. So we're going to do that, and it was probably more feasible than trying to reconstruct that with the design of the hospital and the lay of it to be able to get the offices in. So after a long several years discussions, cost, that type thing, we finally come to a decision to do that and build a government center out there, move the health department out there, move some other offices out there, but they will be offices be staying like they're in Lincoln, like the tax department. The court system will stay in the courthouse in Lincoln, that type thing. But it's been a long decision. It's been a very trying effort to be able to come up with that, and but it will be built back as a government center so we can consolidate some of the offices that you can get a one-stop shopping, and like the land at the health department would be up for sale, and some other land that we will sell and disperse of and take that money and put towards the reconstruction of the government center at the hospital.
Okay. Carol, when you say health department, is that the one out on, is that on, where am I thinking of? Where's the health department?
It's out on the Generals Boulevard there.
Okay,
at,
Wilma Sigmund?
Yes.
Okay,
Wilma
that's the
Sigmund,
health.
yeah.
That's what. Okay, all right, that is where I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right, but then I thought, well, wait a minute, maybe I'm at the wrong place.
No, you're
All
right.
Okay, and I hope that gentleman got his question answered. He said he'd be listening on the air. You ready for
Let
another?
me say one other thing,
Yeah,
Milton, while
sure.
we talk about that.
Yeah.
I want to be, and I think I have been over the years, been accessible to the people. But let me go ahead and give you, the people that's listening, my cell phone number. Now, there's not
okay.
many politicians.
Hey.
I don't really consider myself a politician, but everybody else does. I'm an elected official to serve the people of Lincoln County. But I'm going to put out my cell phone number, 704-472-2751. If anybody that's listening that wants to contact me later to discuss any issues, I'll be more than glad to do that. I don't know how many people or politicians or elected officials will get on the radio station and give out their personal cell phone number.
don't know
I think
very
everybody,
many.
I think everybody's got it anyway, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to ask me any other question or talk to me about anything, feel free to call me on my cell phone number.
And what's that number one more time?
704-472-2751.
All right. We've got a couple calls come in here standing by. Let's see if they're calling in to talk to Commissioner Mitchem. Hello there. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hey, are you called to talk to Carrol?
Absolutely. This is Big D.
Big D.
That's Dennis Dellinger. I've lived in Lincoln all my life, worked for the newspaper all my life, and retired. And also would like to know, I thought I saw something about them tearing down the old jail and the newspaper. And I don't know whether you know anything about that. But the main thing I called about was our caboose. They say there's nobody interested in it, but everybody I talk to all over town is interested in keeping that caboose, but they won't, it's like they don't want no input on it or something, and I think if they would even put up set a fund up for, like we helped USS North Carolina come to North Carolina when I was a kid, and we all donated pennies. Even in the schools, they could donate if they wanted to keep that caboose and, help that. They could turn that caboose around sideways, build a big platform on it, and for the beach bands to play or whatever, or Live 8 or 5s. It'd make a great background, and a lot of people I talk to just don't want to get rid of it. Even the police uptown, I've talked to several of those. Don't understand why they're just so set on getting rid of that caboose.
Let me answer that, but the county does not have nothing to do with that. That is totally that's totally the city, and you need to be calling maybe the city council and those people to handle that, because we're not in control of anything about a caboose or anything. It's in Lincoln. They got their separate government where they act on Lincoln's government, and then us as county commissioners handle the county. So, but it sounds like a good idea. It may need to be kicked around and let those people know that that's what the citizens want.
If you have any pull, Carol, please relay that. I've even wrote a letter to the editor, and they just keep saying nobody's interested. Nobody's interested, but that is bull. Everybody I talk to, they're all upset about it all over town. And it's just we can't understand why they just won't do anything about it. They're just so set on getting rid of it, and then they turn around and like the old recreation center. They let it just sit there, and I grew up in that recreation center, and they just let things like that go. And our town's deteriorating. We're losing. There's lots of buildings for rent uptown, and I know you're a county commissioner and you're from county, and I think you do a great job, and that's why I called. Because I believe in you.
What recreation center are you talking about?
The old recreation center uptown. It's not in the county, but it's.
I know, but
it's
Blocksmith.
You know where the old Daughters of the Confederation building is.
Yep. Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
Okay, so then it's right beside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the old recreation center. It's going to go, and I understand that now, but they had plenty of time. They could have done something about it and didn't do anything. They've just, I don't understand why. You go to Belmont. Look at Belmont. It's a beautiful town. Even Bessemer City even is beautifying their town. But I don't understand why our leaders in Lincoln just won't seem to beautify our town.
Well,
like they don't care. I don't understand that.
Let me say this. That, the squeakier the wheel gets the most grease. So if there's enough people that bands together, comes together, and tells those elected officials in Lincoln what the people and the taxpayers, citizens of Lincoln want, they should listen to the citizens and take all that in consideration. But I would suggest get a group of people together and go to them and discuss all these issues that you have with them.
Yeah. Well, one thing else I would like to ask of you.
Yeah.
I'm a senior citizen and I'm handicapped, and for the last 3 years straight, they have went up on our taxes. First year it went up $11,000. Last year, $24,000. This year they sent me another bill saying it's going up another $6,000. That's just uncalled for.
Are you talking about taxes as far as
taxes? And I'm in the county.
Property taxes?
Yep.
You said the
and
values
I went up
up?
the last 2 years straight and approached them over it, and they wouldn't do anything.
You're talking about the property values?
Yeah, property values.
Yeah, the actual
They're
tax.
going up now. They reevaluate you every year, and it's just went up, and it just keeps on going up. When's it going to stop? They need to quit doing that every year. It used to be every 6 years. Then it was every 5 years. Now it's every year.
Unless there's been any improvements, the property values is only done every 4 years, that they shouldn't be increasing the property value unless there's been something added or that type thing. But if listen, we've got a lady that's in the tax.
The same thing that's on here has been on here 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and that's the way what they've been doing every year. Got another letter here 2 weeks ago said it was going to go up another $6,000. And I don't understand why they just keep going up every year. It's just it's awful that they keep doing that.
Well, it shouldn't be changing that much, and there may be some. Let me give you a suggestion. Lincoln County Tax Administrator now is Susan Sane. Great person, easy to talk to. Go to her and call her and say, Susan, I want to talk to you. Let me see what's going on here. And I guarantee you she'll be glad to sit down and discuss any issue you have with that.
I appreciate that. I'm going to write that down now.
But contact
Susan Sane.
Susan Sane. And tell her I
Thank
said
you
to
so
give you a
much,
call,
Carrol.
and she's a great person to work with, and we'll see what you can find out and what's going on there.
Thank you so much, Carrol.
Thank you.
Have a good day, and I hope to goodness you get back in, buddy. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Big D. All right, and we had a caller on hold. I don't know if we lost you or you hung up, but if you do want to talk to Commissioner Mitchem, now's the time to call back. There's nobody waiting right now, and if we lost you or you hung up because you were holding a long time, please call us back. Carol, we got about 10 minutes to go on the program today, and we'll take just a quick little break here for this message about Commissioner Mitchem, and we'll be back with this special community profile program in just about 1 minute.
Early voting is March 3rd in Lincoln County, with the primary set for March 15th. Make your vote count. Vote Carrol Mitchem for County Commissioner. Make your voice heard loud and clear. You will not stand for higher taxes, high fees, and a runaway government. Vote Carrol Mitchem for County Commissioner. Carrol is a business owner and farmer right here in Lincoln County, and you will always know where Carrol stands, and that is for the taxpaying citizens of Lincoln County, and he listens to your cares and concerns. Vote Carrol Mitchem, Lincoln County Commissioner, on March 15th.
God bless
This announcement paid for by the committee to re-elect Carrol Mitchem, Lincoln County Commissioner.
All right, Carol, and it said vote March 15th, but as we mentioned at the start of the program, early voting starts today.
That's exactly right. It started today in Lincoln County, and it will go through March the 12th, except for on Sunday, March the 6th, they will be closed. And there's 3 locations: James Warren Citizen Center, East Lincoln Community Center and the West Lincoln Northbrook Community Center. So people that say if you go to Lincoln, you want to get your groceries, or if you have other business in Lincoln, you can go just into the citizen center and vote. And then the convenience that I think gives everybody the opportunity to vote. You don't have to worry about long lines, which I think we will have according to what the way the other states have been voting. They've having record turnout, so it gives you opportunity to get ahead of that. And but the general primary election will be on March the 15th.
Okay.
One other thing too about the elections, there's been some things changed. Now you have to show a voter ID. When you go to vote, you need some kind of source of ID, and probably driver's license is the best thing to use for that, or whatever, anything else that you have. There has been some precincts that's changed when it comes on March the 15th, not as far as what's on the early voting, but there's been some precincts that's been combined. Everybody should have been sent out a card saying where you vote at, and that needs to be cleared up with everyone. And if you don't know where you're supposed to vote at, please call the Board of Elections of Lincoln County at 736-8480, and those people will be glad to tell you where you need to go to. But I just like for everyone to be aware that some of those has changed.
All right. And we got another caller here, Carol. If you're ready for another question, caller, you're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hey, Carol, do you remember just right off the top of your head how much money the county gives to the Lake Norman Marine Commission every year?
I cannot answer that directly, exact amount. Who am I speaking with?
It's just a Lincoln County citizen.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in Lincoln County.
Good.
61 years.
I cannot answer that, give you a direct answer on that, but if, call me and I'll be glad to find out and give you an answer on that.
Well, I got a
It's
general
not
idea.
it's not a drastic amount of money or what. Of course, some people definition of drastic amount could be $5, but just if you would just call me and I'll find out and get you that answer.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess I'm asked that to ask this. The amount of money that we give, the county gives every year to the Lake Norman Marine Commission is fairly substantial, from what I understand.
Right.
And I just wonder what the county is receiving from that amount of money, other than helping pay an executive director that the Lake Norman Marine Commissioner has. We have one guy from Lincoln County on the board, as other counties do, Mecklenburg, Iredell, and Lincoln and Catawba. But I can't for the life of me see anything that we're getting from the amount of money that the Lincoln County is spending, other than a salary increase for the executive director.
Some of that on the Marine Commission, they do go out, and there's money goes towards keeping the buoys or no wake signs and that type thing. That is money spent that way. And like I say, if you give me a call, I'll get to you, give you the exact amount of money, and we can discuss it further.
Okay, I missed your cell phone number. Could I have that again?
704-472-2751.
All right.
Okay.
Carol, I wish you luck. You've done us well.
Well, I appreciate that, and if elected, we'll continue to do that.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, just give me a call.
I'll do it. Thanks.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate the call there. Back to what you said, Carol, about the precincts that have closed or been combined. I live in Krause,
right.
Krause resident, and voted in Krause all my life. But Krause precinct closed, and there's a lot of people in Krause that still, I know 2 years ago during the general election, went to Howard's Creek to vote. Has that changed for the people of Krause? I've heard it has, and you mentioned getting that card. I haven't gotten said card to tell me where to go vote.
I thought I brought that list with me where they was all at, but I did not. You were voting at Krause.
We used to vote at the Krause Methodist Church. 2 years ago during the general election, we voted at Howard's Creek School. and someone has told me, I think they said maybe we and don't hold me to this, folks, but if you're in Krause, I think they told that now we go to Childers Elementary. I don't know if that's right or not.
And it may be. I cannot answer that question again.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Milton,
Hard to put you on the spot.
I know. Well, no, that's fine. But I should have brought that with me.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one of the reasons some of the changes come forth because of churches.
Mm-hmm.
People, some of the church members and that type of thing thought that was a proper place for voting to take place.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, then the Board of Elections decided to seek other ways to do that, and they've chose schools. Same way at Northbrook. It used to be we had Northbrook 1, 2, 3, and you had Northbrook 1 and 2 together. Number 3 had their own. Well, now they combined all 3 of those, and we'll be voting at the Northbrook Elementary School. But like I say, you can go on the website and find. Everybody can go on the website and find out exactly where they're at,
and
or call these people at the Board of Elections. They'll be glad to help.
And perhaps I need to make a call also and tell them I'm not getting the mailing that other people are getting. I'm not getting that card to tell me where to go vote.
But that is something everybody needs to be really aware of, because, like I say, things have changed, dates changed, precincts has changed, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to get out today and let everybody be aware of that, and that type of thing.
Carol, we got about 2 or 3 minutes here for you to wrap it up, and folks, appreciate your calls today. And Carol, before you go, I'd like to tell folks you're going to be back with us again to talk, aren't you, on the 14th?
On March the 14th, I'll be back again. That'll be the day before the election, and I'll come back and be glad to take any calls. And it may be 30 minutes goes by relatively fast.
It does go by.
We may want to extend this another 30 minutes.
Okay.
So, but yes, I will be back on March the 14th at 10 o'clock.
All right.
Back on the radio.
And I'll let you wrap it up today.
Let me go ahead and say just a few things, folks. You know, the elections are very important, not only in the county, but the national election. We have decisions to make. We hopefully make the right decisions, but it's your right that a lot of people have suffered and died for, that you are able to go vote in the United States of America. So that right needs to be exercised. That it shows that you are in support of what these people have sacrificed their lives over, and what a lot of government has went through. But can't emphasize enough about early voting. It gives you opportunity to get out, get it done, and you don't have to worry about long lines. If anybody would like a sign, I'll have signs, a yard sign. If you'd like one to come by the restaurant, you can pick one of those up. But, you know, it's important that people has a say in what and who you choose as your elected officials. And again, feel free to call me 704-472-2751. I will return the call and be glad to talk to you about any issue.
All right. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Milton. Thank the people that called in.
And this has been a paid program for the citizens to elect Carrol Mitchem for County Commissioner. And that will wrap it up for today. And once again, Carol will be back on the 14th, on Monday, the 14th of this month, to field more of your calls. So we'll see you then. That's it for the community profile today. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody who called in.
I like the music you play.
Music's great. Big O Country, WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville Gastonia. Online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join Big O Country as we broadcast live this Friday, March 4th, during the grand opening event at the all-new Shelby McDonald's, located at 206 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right next to Shelby High School. Come see the brand new store and check out their daily specials going on all month long. on Friday, March 4th. With every Happy Meal purchased, a child can pick from the McDonald's treasure chest. Plus, enter the raffle for Jana Christian Schuford. Enter to win an Apple iWatch. Raffle tickets are just